development education is very valuable for young people to channel their ideas, because no matter what background you have in Ireland, as a young person you do have ideas on global issues, and development education, I suppose, gets us to channel them and is a forum for other people to hear ideas and maybe take from them, because you can go down and isolate yourself from these problems if you feel you're not listened to. If your ideas aren't valued, maybe then you don't think they're important and you stop caring. Whereas if with development education you get your ideas out, you see that some people do listen and it does make some difference. It sort of encourages you to further what you do.
I think our generation has such like a grasp on power now that if we wanted, we could change the world with a flick of our wrist. But it's just getting people to flick the wrist. It's getting people aware. It's raising awareness. It's doing all that. I myself believe that if I go on to do whatever I want to do, like say if I was Taoiseach or something or any of those kind of jobs, I know that I would use that to better other people, to further education of development in countries, to further developing countries themselves, to help in any way I could, even if I was any kind of job. Like Miss Gann, for instance, she did concern debates, and the effect it had on her was to become a mentor for more concern debates, to further that again, which I think is a positive step. We started doing the concern debates, which was probably one of the best experiences of my life, and I'd say it has changed my outlook on everything completely. I would not have been aware of anything to do with child labour or anything like that had it not been for the concern debates.
From doing what we've done in the last few years, we're obviously a lot more confident in our own abilities and what we want to do in the future. And sort of, there's a feel-good factor too, I suppose, and trying to make a difference, knowing that you're not sort of living with blinkers on.
Yeah, it's not charity for charity's sake. It's like you feel like I'm actually making a difference. Maybe you feel like when these people leave this debate hall that they're going to go and they're going to be, well, now I'm going to look at the labels on my clothes, or I'm going to consider the environment, or whatever topic we had discussed or debated.
Because it was often very good, like during debates, let's say if we had a motion on the Western media's attitude to the developing world, and you have these two teams of 4 teenagers debating this topic with an audience of, let's say, adults. And then afterwards there's a forum where anyone can talk about it. And it's very interesting to see how what we have to say gets listened to and maybe shapes the opinion of someone in that audience, which maybe when they go home they think about what was said and change something. Like if we were talking about fair trade, maybe someone in the audience has started to buy fair trade because of it. Like I know in my own home, my mom's like gone to all these debates, heard all these issues, and she's aware of the topics. It's not just me. There is a ripple effect where people learn from it, and it sort of, I don't know, makes us feel a little bit better in ourselves.
More empowered.
Yeah, more empowered.
Yeah, but then again, it's very easy to fall into the trap of watching the TV and seeing the ads and saying, oh, I'll send money away, and that's all you do. You don't get up, you don't campaign, you don't do anything, you don't get involved. The armchair activists, I think is the word they use, which is, it's a very easy trap to fall into, because we have got such privileges in this country. Even now, in the midst of recession, we still have so much more than any of the developing countries in the world. It's a crying shame, really, that we don't do so much. We're so focused on ourselves and on our own needs.
One thing I would say is about development education is it's made me very aware of the society we live in contrast to, you know, Indonesia or Africa or a developing country. And in that, as a young person, and just what Evan said about being an armchair activist, it's, you know, there's a lot of pressure put on young people to be a certain person and to look a certain way, and that's distracting us from our great potential. Like, for example, with the transition years achieved last year with winning the YSI project, that was in a year's work, and other than that, people would have been just sitting around doing nothing and trying to save up the next bit of money to buy this bit of clothing or to look like this person, or just, you know, the pressure of materialism and the multinationalism and the whole corporate thing, that we're being used and the talent is being wasted. But I think I really would love to open people's eyes to this idea of going out and doing something, because it all counts, it really does.
I think it's very easy for Ireland's young people, given that we have such a lot of privileges these days, to live with blinkers on and not pay attention to what's happening around us and just focus on our own lives, like school, what we do at the weekend, friends and all that, and not really care about other problems, bigger issues, I suppose. Whereas development education, I suppose, improves our awareness and gets us to contribute.
There's obviously a big atmosphere, a big instinct in the school now, stimulus even, you know, through transition year and modules like that, to go and actually take control, as you say, and become active. And I think then that it marks something in you. It really does change. Like, from doing these debates and reading different research and, you know, improving skills, I suppose, and that, I do know that some way down the road in my life, I don't know what background I will have. I don't know what, you know, trade or whatever I'm going to be doing, but I do know I want to give something back. I know I want to do something for this people. I know there's something a bit more than, you know, buying a house and buying a car and raising a family. There's a bit, leaving something there, and in a way you kind of immortalise yourself. If you, what I would love to do is, when I leave this world, I'd love to know that I've left it in a better place than it would be than when I've come. And I think a lot of people think about that, but they just need to know that they can do it. It really is possible, especially collectively, when you have a lot of other people who are motivated and really want to go out there and change and make a difference.